Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to a fresh edition of 101, your favorite entertainment show from Liberia. Today, we will be hosting one of the biggest hip-hop trackco artists in LIB. He's no other person but the biggest elephant, Barsee Mokopala Kilodad. For today's edition, I am your host, Alex Yenga, aka Jackie Ross. In case you are not following us, please follow us on all social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay connected and get more goodies. After the intro, we will be bringing you 101 with Barsee Mokopala Kilodad.
Hololo! You already know this is Barsee Mokopala Kilo. Crack it. Da da da. The fans are Ella. You know. Papi Zapula. Shoo ya. Actually, before the creation of this Elephant album, I had this whole revelation that came to me, and that was where I started using this elephant nomenclature. There was a whole scenario explained to me about the elephant and the dog. Long story made short, the dog got pregnant and the elephant got pregnant at the same time. And but then the dog gave birth, the first time, the second time, and the third time. And then the elephant stayed on the same pregnancy. So the dog came to the elephant eventually and said, elephant, we got it better at the same time. But then I've given birth more than 3 different times and I see you still carrying it. So in a nutshell, the elephant said to the dog, the reason my own pregnancy is taking so long is for one most concise purpose. Is because the package, the content of what I'm carrying, and I envision that this body of work we're about to release is something that's going to be so astute and with all the unique qualities an elephant has and what the album was going to possess. And that was one driving force. That was what inspired this whole album being called Elephant, because this name Elephant or Fensa Ella that I'm bearing is something that was conferred on me by them streets. We've released 2 successive albums over the years, and that's Crack It 1 and Crack It 2. And first thing, this current Elephant album broke the record of being the only album or the first album that I had a feature on. We released Crack It 1 back then. We had 20 songs, it had 40 verses and no feature. We released Crack It Volume 2, it had 21 songs, 42 verses and no feature. We released the Elephant album, it had 14 songs and a single feature. And one thing that differentiates this body of work from my previous work is the level of maturity, the level of growth, the level of versatility. The uniqueness of this album can be seen from a listener standpoint. Every song has its own appeal. Every song is appealing to some lifelike situations, and the unique style, pattern, and everything that we brought, just showcase how the elephant over the years has diversified his portfolio as a professional musician. Eldris is the only artist, being featured on this Elephant album. And to be honest, Eldris is a very amazing superstar. when we got to work on this song, it was an amazing one, from the inception, from the studio, you know, um it was the vibe was radiating, and I remember after we got through with the official recording of the song, I took the team and then we flew to Ghana, and that was where I really got to know, Dre's. He's actually a very exceptional, young man, to be real. We worked together, from the shooting of the visual. I remember we started shooting from in the morning at 10 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the next morning. And there was not a sign of, him being hesitant or reluctant. He gave his all. He was just at his maximum. He did exceptionally well. And from the producers, we had Gino on it. We have Vino, and the whole day record, my family. It was just great. Yeah, collaborating with Driz on this project was way too necessary. It was much needed because our people, in them streets needed it. And I mean, this is one of the best collabs I've had, as an artist. Yeah, Driz is a top-notch, superstar, and I appreciate his energy at all levels. Big ups to my G, Eldris, Paramount from the West Coast. So when we got signed back in 2022, the energy we came with was something that was totally unseen. Me as a person, I'm a workaholic, so I always want to be in the studio, creating magic. So when we started working, at Day Records, we got an in-house producer, and that's Vino. So we actually started working eventually, and we knew that this thing we were creating, this project, was going to be as legendary as it is right now. So it wasn't so easy to achieve. I'm being honest. There were several times we had to do it, and listen to it, go back again, and because we actually wanted nothing less than the best. So we started recording with Vino. Eventually we started making some progress, and then I realized that we had to get other producers on board, and DJ Magic had played a very pivotal role, in my music from grassroots, even till, where the fans at Ella got to the point of releasing his first studio album. So upon the contract that he started, I said, I gotta revisit, my bass, because DJ Magic and we have this sort of chemistry, and and the workings between he and I, that bond is so homogeneous to a point where the two songs that were produced on the album by DJ Magic are proof, to what I'm saying. Eventually, we had my J Nas, on the beat, and J Nas is a person who understands my sound like Magic and Vino. He understands, how intricate, my sound is. So Nas and I, we started working, started creating a whole lot, and it's like we created several different songs because we were trying to, just record, and at the end of the day, we can be able to sit down and then, listen to the things we've recorded over time, and and then pick what we wanted from there. And I mean, J Nas came through with 5 amazing projects, on the album, and and then eventually we had Gino. And Gino, is highly proficient when it comes to creativity. And Gino had been the creative guy, his ideas, and as it relates to co-producing alongside Vino, and was very much instrumental. And and then I remember Vino and Gino, it was very amazing because every time I went in the studio, it was me, Vino, Gino, and the vibe was totally different. And we would work and just just create magic with that recipe of consistency. And and then eventually, now it is what it is. And then after everything, after we were able to create our this whole Elephant album. Honestly, I like to give credit to whom is deserved. Extreme Beat play a very essential role too. He did the mastering, the mix and mastering of you know the songs. He did extremely well. And the executive producer is none other but superstar DJ Daddy Rich, in person of the CEO of Day Records. And and I remember us working, cross-pollinating ideas, and for this most talked about Elephant album. And in a nutshell, every producer brought something to the table. Every producer added some secret ingredient to this album, and my people that also out there can resonate. They know what I'm saying. The sound, the pattern. I mean, God is the greatest, man. Yeah, hats out to all of the producers on the Elephant album. They did amazing work on it. Yeah, and I'm proud of everybody. Fans at Ella did his thing, but they did the magic as well. I mean, now, and most times I'm a deep thinker. Yeah, so I will sit in the studio. The idea will come actually like, I know I want to do this song because the first thing I actually like to get in every songwriting for me, I like to outline the things I hope to achieve in that song. So if this song is about my story, I know that my story was sorrowful. I want to get everything about my story. So the first thing I start building, the connectivity, I start developing the whole storyline because, I mean, there's nothing like a good music with a bad storyline. Yeah, so we had to make sure, me as a person, I always want to make sure that, what I'm writing, what I'm singing, what I'm rapping about, should be able to correlate, should make sense, should be something people can relate to. So most times, like I said, I go deeper in depth. Why? Because the fans at Ella will never ever be superficial on the crust. So when these ideas come, I filter them. And now, we vibing by that time now, our cannabis sativa in the belly, eh? Cause now, he dey give out the spiritual to talk to the gods. So I mean, it's always like I got my pen or I'm on my phone and I'm punching in it. Sometimes we filtering these ideas, and sometimes I can just be so amazed at the result. At the end of the day, we record. It might sound disjointed from the inception, but we'll have to make sure that it cohere. Because I always want to achieve that coherence in every song. Yeah. So that's how it been. Hold a pen. Fans I will hold a pen as the largest land walking mama and push his thoughts, go out of his comfort zone, go as far as my mind can take me, and get the best out of what I can get from my brain. So that how it always been, it's been that vibe. And and in all honesty, I respect everybody's ideas when I'm recording a song. If John Brown tells me, man, how about this thing? I don't disregard it. When you say it, I respect it. But then I also ask myself, is there a way that I can put it in my own way? Is there a way that I can refine it? I can polish it as an elephant? And because nobody is an island. I'm being honest with you. Because the reason that they can call island is because water around it. And when no water there, I land. So everybody idea by that time is highly esteemed. But I try as an elephant to filter everything and go as deep as I can go. Because that's the elephant for a reason. Wow. Oh. My favorite song of the Elephant album is Low featuring Eldridge. Whoa, that song is it's mad. Yeah, that song is mad. It's it's everything. That's my favorite. Is Low. We're getting the money on a low. The level of creativity that we brought to the table. You know, there are some key lines, and people that know me can relate. Like, we 12 brothers to 2 ball and we wagging one chicken feet. Me as a scrapper or 10 go for what I eat. Another very delicate line there is, me and I still it. I was born blessed, but opportunity just delay. And Dre's did his thing. He told you that, you know, that point where some kind of time we can remember we never had it to eat. And you know, I mean, I don't know, man, but words can't describe that song. I'm being honest, words can't just describe it. From the hook to the verses, it's everything. I think that song is given. I mean, you know, the plans for this album is gonna be massive. It's gonna be a robust one. But I wanna say this Elephant album is gonna be an album I will spend millions of dollars on. I'm being honest with you. So it will cut across, you know, it will most definitely cut across from bloggers, content creators, and I'm talking about people from different geographical locations, you know. It's gonna be a project that Defense Ella and Day Records we gonna spend millions on to promote. I'm being honest with you. And the results will show in a bit. I mean, I feel like criticism allow an individual, especially an open-minded individual, it allows you to push yourself beyond the boundary, beyond the average. People normally would criticize something that, you know, is questionable, something that, you know, probably they see, you know, it's not so right, and you know, and when these criticisms come, all I do is I accept these criticism in good faith. I look at the places that I'm being criticized, I work on them and see how best I can make improvements. I don't dislike criticism. I embrace it because everybody makes some level of mistakes. Sometimes the thing what will be right in your album will not be right on the overall. Sometimes you might even be in error, might not even know. So sometimes your critics are fair. So I don't tend to be a reactionary, no. You know, I accept it in good faith, and then we move on. And it demonstrates growth. It demonstrates that this person is mature enough to handle backlashes. Because everybody, some way, somehow, will get criticized. And you know, so I accept it in good faith, and then I try to improve. If my people then say they want about me, and I know that they think what they say about me and not super, I try to work on it. But everybody gotta, at some point in time, get criticized. You can't live without it because we all are imperfect. So by that time, I embrace it and I give God the glory and say God is the greatest, and I work on improving myself every day. So I want to tell my critics there, I want for y'all to sharpen up. The more y'all do it, the more y'all make me to realize that, yeah, anything I can get better at it. I can even do it even more than what I'm doing, and I appreciate my critics. I feel like I love yourself the same way I love myself, and you know. First thing first, I want to say big shout out, you know, to my team. Day Records. I love my team a whole lot, you know. They've done a whole lot, you know, for this process. And I want to shout out Twaza Republic, you know, the band my day ones. You know, I want to give it out for my kids and my family. One major reason I keep doing what I'm doing. And you know, from me to you is a big shout out for one-on-one, because one-on-one, like me and you and we on, and you know, So I mean, every amazing person that keeps streaming the Elephant album out there, every amazing producer on the album, everybody out there that some way, somehow contributing towards this album. And amazingly, there are people who have, been supporting with their physical finance, the project, because, Audio Mac has designed this whole thing that you can, make some contributions to our artists, artistic work and all that. So shout out to everybody. It's all love. Shout out to the city. Shout out to Bourgeois Island. I'll be nothing without Bourgeois Island because this is where I started. This is where I've always been. And I'm proud of my roots. It's all love. Papi sa non blanza raga.